years in a row.
I know, that's impressive.
That is real impressive.
One of them last year worked for
We
me at
are
Starbucks.
live.
All right, so we can get started. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Would you like me to take roll call?
Yep.
All right. Counselor Kane?
Here.
Counselor Fellows?
Here?
Counselor Keller? Excused?
Yes, she is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Make a motion to accept her excuse.
I'll second that.
All right. These will be roll call votes because we have a remote attendee. Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows?
Yes.
Counselor Keller is the person being excused. Counselor LaRochelle? Yes. Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
Yes.
We have 6 yeas, 0 nays. Order passed. Vote 6-0. All right. The first item this evening is good news and recognition. And I'm sorry. Let's see. I just had that piece of paper in my hand. And we have Order 2023-53. It's a proclamation for the Lisbon cheerleading team. I'll get the award. Okay. We will. Okay.
Second.
Who was the second?
I will.
Okay.
Sounds like I wasn't alive.
I'm not used to it.
Is it real or is it Memorex?
All right. Can you put that in there for me? All right. So this is a roll call vote. I'll read the proclamation and then we'll take the vote. Does that sound okay, Chairman?
Yes.
Okay. The Lisbon High School Cheerleaders Proclamation. Whereas the Lisbon High School competition cheering team has made the community proud as they claimed the state championship title. Whereas the cheerleaders won their 5th state cheering championship in school history at the Augusta Civic Center on February 11th. Whereas the cheering season was a strong one, winning the Mountain Valley Conference Championship at Mount Valley High School on January 21st. Whereas the cheerleaders won the Class C Southern Regional Championship at Sanford High School on February 4th. Whereas the 2023 Class C State Cheering Championship competition, the Lisbon cheerleaders repeated as state champions to take their 5th state championship in a 9-year span. Whereas at the 2023 Class C State Cheering Competition, the team was made up of Riley Hoyle, Nevaeh Fortin, Mackenzie Terrio, Kyla Barabee, Selah Russell, Kendall Gravel, Reese Kulo, Olivia Saunders, Peyton Hoyle, Ava Cotman, Tiana Seaborn, Ella Morales, and Soleil Russo. Now, therefore, we, the Town Council of the Town of Lisbon, wish to congratulate and thank the Lisbon High School cheerleaders and Coach Nicole Adams for their fine representation of the Town of Lisbon while winning the state championship title. We're going to take the vote first. Councillor Kane.
Yes.
Councillor Fellows. Councillor LaRochelle. Yes. Councillor Lunt.
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
With pleasure, aye.
Councillor Robichaud.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays. Order passed 6-0. Mr. Chairman, would you like to present the award? All right. Yep. We're going to take pictures.
I'd like to present this award. Great job, ladies. This is the second year in a row, right? You came here? That is so awesome. Congratulations. My niece, I got this.
No pressure, we expect it
Right.
next year too now?
We're going to expect it every year now. Would family members like to have pictures taken with the cheerleading team?
Absolutely, it's cool. Good luck.
Diane will say, you didn't take a picture, right?
Oh.
It's awesome.
You said one of them was your niece?
Right, one holding the trophy is my niece. 2 years in a row. Good job. I gotta hide.
Yeah. I don't want to photo glare.
All right.
Thank you again, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you again. Congratulations.
Thank you, Coach.
It's awesome.
All right.
Go to the next item.
All right, next item is normally public hearings. We have none this evening. So the next item is audience participation and response for agenda items. At this time, those in the audience who wish to speak may approach the lectern to address items or issues that are on the agenda. Please use the microphone and state your name for the record.
Anyone in the audience want to come up? I see none. We'll close that item.
Okay. Next item is consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered routine and will be considered for adoption by one motion with no separate discussion unless a counselor requests an item be removed. Any counselor wishing to remove an item may do so now. Seeing none, Order 2023-54 to approve the municipal accounts payable warrants, $246,552.51. Municipal payroll warrants, $256,967.49. School accounts payable warrants, $208,193.80. School payroll warrants, $407,699.24. And to approve the minutes of March 16th, March 18th, and March 21st, 2023. To set a hearing for Cannabis Angels adult use marijuana manufacturing and cultivation license renewal. The Gartley Street road closure request for Saturday, April 9th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 12:30 for the public Easter egg hunt. And the warrant for school budget validation referendum election, order ballot printing, and set public hearings on May 2nd, 2023 for the school budget and school's budget CIP, and set school budget adoption date for May 16th, 2023.
Make a motion, we accept as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. Councillor Kane?
Yes.
Councillor Fellows?
Yes.
Councillor LaRochelle?
Yes.
Councillor Lunt?
Yes.
Councillor Moore?
Aye.
Councillor Robichaud?
Yes.
We have 6 yeas and 0 nays. Order pass, vote 6-0. Next item is council orders, resolutions, and ordinances per the Lisbon Ordinance Section 74201E7C for abstentions, where a councillor intends to abstain from participation in voting on a particular item. They should advise the other councillors present as soon as that item is placed on the floor of their intent not to participate and to abstain from voting and the reasons the abstention is required. First order, 2023-55, the summer council meeting schedule.
Motion for discussion?
Second.
I see this is kind of put out there as our typical summer program where we kind of gear it back to one meeting a month, for July and August. I thought it was pretty straightforward.
Yep, I included a memo. I looked at the previous meetings, and I looked at what we have coming up. I did make a suggestion. I think last year we had 2 meetings in June. So my suggestion, because we have the election in June, it was a little hairy in the clerk's office. So my suggestion is to have just 1 meeting in June. If you need to have a meeting, we can still do one. But to have only 1 planned meeting, I think, would not make it easier, but make it run a little more smoothly for the election. And I went ahead and put down dates for the rest of the year so that we don't have to revisit it again, although you can revisit the schedule anytime you like.
Yeah, I thought it looked good.
Mr. Chair? Yep. The only question for the budget process we have is that gonna work with our public hearing, public hearing stuff prior to the budget approval? Or?
Yep, you'll notice that there are 3 meetings in May, and that's part of the school budget referendum, getting ready for that. And then in May, we also have the municipal budget and department goals. So we'll have all of those. It covers all the needs for the budget.
And the public hearing part of it will be at the last one?
Yes.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure. I mean, it looked like you had it all covered, so.
There would be the June 6th meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was June 20th.
Well, we have June 6th for a regular meeting, and that's the one that'll
Gotcha.
have the public hearing. June 13th is the election, so there won't be a June 20th meeting, unless,
Well, typically, that's when we hold the budget and CIP hearings.
oh,
So
you know
we-
what? You're right, and I made that schedule, and that date fell off when I transferred it over to here. So we would do,
The June 20th.
we would have to do the June 20th and not the 6th. That's right. I had it backwards. Sorry about that.
June, so
So we
Not
will-
June 6th.
So we will do 2 in June.
You'll do 1, but we're
Just
going to do
one?
the 20th instead
Okay,
of the
got it.
6th.
You're going to move it out.
Right.
Sounds good.
Do we need to modify a motion, or are you going to be all good with what your changes are?
I'll go ahead and make the adjustment to the calendar. If you want to call that the presented calendar, we can go ahead and vote on it that way.
That's why we have discussions.
Yep, absolutely. I'm good.
All right. Are we ready to vote?
Yep.
Okay. Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows?
yes.
Counselor LaRochelle?
Yes.
Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays. Order passed, vote 6-0. Thank you. All right. The next item is Order 2023-56 to award the Village Street Sidewalk Improvements Project contract.
I'll make a motion for discussion.
So here a second?
I'll make a second.
Sure. So we have our Public Works Director here to talk about that, and then I know you all received an email. Do you want me to at least touch on that a little bit?
I would think, yeah, probably some level. I mean,
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Randy Sear, Public Works Solid Waste Director. We're going to recommend that we give the contract to Pratt & Son. They came in the lowest. there was a little question on the bid, but everything's been covered, and they do honor their bid for the said discrepancies that we had, and so everything, we should move forward with Pratt & Son. They do very well at sidewalk projects. And any questions?
Yeah, so I'll just touch on a little bit. So councilors received correspondence from a prospective bidder that was protesting the result. The prospective bidder claimed the bid was unfair because they failed to acknowledge an addenda in their bid. Our engineering firm created that addenda to address their comments and change the payment distribution without altering the scope of work. The missing addenda, the low bidder has agreed to stand by their low bid and provide the full scope of work for $20,000 less than Glidden. So our engineer believes that that protest has no merit, and we still support the recommendation to award to Pratt & Sons while acknowledging that the decision rests with the council, but our recommendation is still to award to the low bidder, Pratt, per our engineer's recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, so compared to last fall, we actually have a little bit, the bidding seemed to be a little bit more in line.
That's correct. The only thing that this bid does not include was the paving, was the grinding and the paving from 196 to the scene just before Pinewood Road, where the Pinewood Road project left off. And but we should come in well below our prices that we had last year.
Is the intent to actually include that with the price of Bluefield Road if we were to do that as a bulk?
Well, the reason why we did it separately is because we were able to bring in more bidders than we had last year. And the scope of work is going to be pertain more towards the sidewalk and the curbing reset. And once that's done, we can go specifically to paving contractors, whereas paving contractors didn't want to bid it the whole package because of all the sidewalk. That's not what they specialize in. And to get subs, to work for them is very hard because everybody's so busy. So we split it up as one section being just the sidewalks and curbing reset with detectables, and then we're going to bid out the paving separate. Whether or not we bid it with this year's paving or keep it separate because we have the Ferry Road grant money or bond money to pay for that. But either way, we should have enough money to do what we need to do and come in under what we had for prices last year.
They're able schedule-wise to fit that in the season.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, the sooner we get on their schedule, the better. Yes.
I just have one question, Mr. Chair. I wasn't clear on how many bidders we actually had for the process.
I believe it was 5 or 6.
I can pull it up. I don't recall.
Did you get bids from
I think it was
everybody?
6.
Six.
It's like 6 on the list here.
I believe it was 6.
Okay. And we got bids from everybody that was requested, or no?
Not everybody, no.
Okay.
I think we sent out over almost a dozen.
Okay.
So a lot of people didn't, half bidded on it.
A lot of people already booked for the season, so.
A lot of people are booked for the season, that's correct.
Make a motion to accept?
We have a motion on the floor.
Okay.
Counselor Kane?
Yes.
Counselor Fellows?
Yes.
Counselor LaRochelle?
Yes.
Counselor Lunt?
Yes.
Counselor Moore?
Aye.
Counselor Robichaud?
Yes.
We have 6 yeas and 0 nays. Order passed, vote 6-0.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Nice to get that project going and done, right?
That's correct.
Wow, that area.
Thank you.
Do we have enough salt just in case the roads freeze?
What's that?
Do we have enough salt just in case the roads freeze?
Oh, yeah. Just barely, but we have enough.
All right, next item.
Next item.
All right, next item is the yearly report from Lisbon EMS.
Hi. So my name's Amy McDonald. I'm the Deputy Chief of Service at Lisbon Emergency. I'm filling in for the chief right now. He's on medical leave. I also work at United Ambulance and Androscoggin County Dispatch. So what you have in front of you is a more in-depth report with numbers and statistics. I'll be going over the highlights so we aren't here all night. I do appreciate your time and being here tonight. On page 2, this outlines the last 5 years of our progress. It also shows how we've grown as a company, going from volunteer to paid in 2018. This is also when we started requesting money from the towns of Lisbon and Bowden. Because of the additional funding, we have been able to get more up-to-date equipment and purchase our first new ambulance since 2006, as well as fully staffing trucks 24/7. Page 2 also outlines the struggles in Maine right now in EMS and how Lisbon Emergency has been able to overcome those challenges. We have been able to staff at the paramedic level over the last year in the mid to high 90 percentile. This was one of our goals last year, and we have done a good job at achieving that. On page 4, you'll see a chart that outlines our responses from April of last year through March of this year. Our call volume last fiscal year was right around 1,300, and we are on track to do about 1,500 this year. A lot of that number has to do with mutual aid that we've given to United. As you can see, we responded a total of 140 times in this time frame to their coverage area, and a handful to Topsom, Durham, and other surrounding communities. On page 5, it breaks down the percentage of where we respond to most, with Lisbon being 73% of our call volume. Page 6 lists the programs we've been able to deliver in a community outreach campaign. We've been able to cover all varsity sporting events for the high school, as well as some rec department football games. This page also outlines how we've worked within the school system to prepare them for sudden cardiac arrests and other medical emergencies. Page 7 is our community outreach. We've been able to teach CPR and stop the bleed classes to many citizens over the past year, including daycares, the recycling center, school staff, and other various departments in town. We have also given opportunity to our own members to continue their education and train them on a monthly basis. Page 8 is the introduction of a new program. Over the last year, we were overwhelmed with applications and new hires, so we started staffing our second ambulance when staffing allowed in December through current. About 60% of the time, we have a second truck staffed, and that's from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And a majority of the time, it is also staffed at the paramedic level. So that's 2 paramedic trucks in town. We have been able to cover second calls with this ambulance, as well as generate more revenue for the service through doing transfers. The revenue from extra calls being covered and doing transfers has paid for our payroll of this extra truck. One of our goals last year was to cover more second calls, and we are achieving that goal as well. Page 9 is increased staffing. As I stated before, since December of last year, we've been staffing a second truck. This is due to us hiring 7 paramedics, 5 advanced, 7 basics, and we have 4 applications that are pending follow-up. It also shows in the last month of the 62 shifts, and that's day and night shifts, all but 1 night shift was staffed at the paramedic level. That 1 night shift was staffed at the advanced level. And on page 10, our future goals include hiring full-time paramedics starting in July. This will guarantee paramedic coverage and work us towards our goal of being staffed fully at the paramedic level. We would also like to continue staffing our second ambulance when staffing allows. As it has shown, it is a good way to generate revenue and respond to second calls. We're looking into grant money for community paramedicine that will allow us to serve our citizens better, and we will also be applying to other various grants. Lisbon Emergency's main goal is to provide the town of Lisbon and surrounding communities with the best pre-hospital emergency care possible, and to work closely with the town of Lisbon in the future. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. That's a lot. I know it's a lot of information in that packet, so.
I have a question.
Sure.
In December of 22, Lisbon's Emergency saw an influx of providers wanting to work for us, so we started a second day truck. What do you suppose, after all the difficulties that have been in emergency services throughout the state, what contributed to that most?
So a lot of it had to do with our pay increase. We did a pretty substantial pay increase in July of last year. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons. it's outlined a little bit better in that packet as well, as far as why people want to come and work with us as well.
Thank you.
Any
I
other
have
questions?
the 3 full-time paramedics that you're looking to hire
Yeah,
and the full-time deputy chief.
Yes.
Is that already in your budget?
it is, yes.
Chair,
Yep. Go ahead, Eric.
could you let me know which towns you cover currently and which towns you are trying to recruit to cover?
So right now we cover Lisbon and Bowdoin. We also have a mutual aid agreement with Northeast right now. We do their mutual aid for Bowdenham. And then as far
Any
as
other departments?
and then
Towns?
as far as mutual aid goes, we give mutual aid to United's coverage area, which is mostly Lewiston, Sabattis, as well as Durham and Topsom. We provide mutual aid.
Yeah, I understand mutual aid. Are you trying to become the full-service ambulance for any other towns?
We are not at this time.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Definitely some good information to look over too.
Perfect.
Yeah, nice packet.
Any other questions for me?
I'm good. Mark?
I think I'm good.
Good.
All right.
I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is council committee reports. Usually school is first.
I have nothing to report.
And planning board.
I have nothing at this time. I believe they meet on Thursday.
Lisbon Development Committee.
Nothing to report.
Conservation Commission.
Nothing to report.
The Recreation Committee.
That's me. I was not able to make the meeting last night, but I did reach out to Mark, the director, and he actually said they had a good meeting, and they're going over some of the changes that they were brought forth to us as far as the changes in their fee schedule, and as far as trying to better define the idea of people that are local and people that are not from the community, and how that actually lays out so they have the same response to everybody, and then just have a protocol on how that's laid out. Did talk a little bit about the upcoming possible changes or improvements to the Summer Street Park to get some parking. So it sounds like they have some good dialogue, and they're looking forward to the season coming up, and already putting out, looking for some employees, and having some changes a little bit, but sounds like it's all good, and a lot of activity, and sounds like they got a handle on everything.
County.
I'm not sure if you heard me, but I have nothing for the conservation.
Thank you, Councilor Moore. And the County Budget Committee.
Nothing to report.
The Library Governing Board. Councilor Keller is not here. Water Commission.
Water Commission meets next week, and there's no change since the last meeting.
And the Finance Committee.
I have nothing new there.
Yes, Chairman, I asked a question. Do you actually, since Kayla's gone, do you actually have a plan moving forward as far as for the next meeting?
Yeah,
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it the other day. So it looks like they're slated to meet, I want to say the first Monday in May. Like it's early May when they provide their recommendations for, let me just pull it up here. Finance Committee will meet on May 8th to discuss the municipal and school budget plus municipal and school CIP for recommendations to present to council on May 16th.
That's good. Mr. Ridley was pretty involved, and I'm sure he's anxious awaiting the next call, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, he did reach out because Kayla's email is being monitored by us while it's not filled. I'll reach out to Mr. Ridley tomorrow to follow up to let him know what's going on because he sent the email to Kayla and
Yeah, definitely been very involved with
Yeah,
us.
absolutely.
Sure
Yeah.
he's on.
Yeah, I agree. It's been nice seeing, he's been coming regular. He's absolutely involved, and he asks us really good questions, and so it's nice to have a new member.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Those are all the committees.
Town
Next.
manager's report?
Yep, only got a couple things. So we recently went out to bid for the loam and seed over at the old mill site, the Rumba site. Did a walkthrough on Friday. We are going to rebid that just to update the bid spec a little bit for unit pricing and to change the timeline. Our ECD department was a little aggressive with the seeding timeline, so the bidders kind of said shoot for the fall, and then we'll have August to grade and get everything level so we can seed and loam that space in September. I got a letter from the Androscoggin Valley Council on Governments. They're asking for 2 reps for their General Assembly. I don't know if any of you have served as the General Assembly rep in the past, so I'm just kind of going to give you the summary. But they need 1 elected official. 50% of the General Assembly is composed of elected official members that are part of the AVCOG. So the purpose of the General Assembly is to bring together these representatives to discuss regional issues, review and approve the organization's annual budget, elect officers, and set priorities for the coming year. The meeting provides an opportunity for members to network, share ideas, collaborate on regional planning and development projects. In addition to the business conducted at the meeting, the General Assembly often features presentations on relevant topics such as transportation, economic development,
I'm so sorry.
no worries, land use, and environmental issues. So I was just going to ask the council if you want to select a liaison for the General Assembly. I think they meet twice a year. So you'd be going with me and Ross, and we would just, I guess, vote on whatever their agenda items are and elect their executive board.
Could you forward us more information? Is that something we need to vote on tonight? Just curious of when they meet. And
Again, I think they only meet twice a year, and like I said, I got this like yesterday, and this is all they gave me, so it's the paragraph I just kind of read. So I'll reach out to Amy Landry. Maybe she can.
yeah, that'd be great. Just find out exactly when
Yeah.
the time frame is. If it's
Where do they meet?
In Auburn at the country club. So we get a free lunch.
and you and Ross will be attending also.
Yeah, so I'm on their executive board, and then Ross is the staff rep. So, and then the other requirement is that one of the reps be an elected official. And then if we go over 10,000 in the next census, we'll add another vote to their General Assembly. But I can forward this along, and
That'd be great.
yeah, if you want.
So, Glenn, what's the term on that? So, let's say I volunteer to be on that. Is it a year or 2 years?
I don't know. Like I said, I just this is all I got from them, so I'll have to reach out.
To your point, we need more information.
And it's coming up quick, too, because they asked for an RSVP for the GA meeting. So I'll get this to you via email, and we can talk about it more. Let's see what else. So good news. The council brought up Harry brought up the internship grant from MMA that the council wanted us to go for. Good news is we have an intern. They'll be starting on May 1st, and we were one of, I believe it was, out of 10 applicants, we were one of 4 to receive the internship grant, so we'll be getting another $3,000 to cover the costs associated with the intern's salary, training, and administrative fees, and then they'll be invited to the there's like an executive committee meeting in August to kind of honor the intern. And then the last thing I have is, like you said, the rec committee met. The recommendation for the fee increases went into effect April 1st, just so we could be more competitive with our summer seasonal positions. So we're moving forward with those, and that's it for manager's report.
Sorry.
No worries. Oh, and our finance director starts April 18th. So welcome Samantha, who will be moving up from Pennsylvania, and you'll confirm her appointment at the April 18th meeting.
Mr. Chair, we do still have a handful of other open positions, right, that are
Yeah, so if anyone is interested, we will be at the job fair that the ECD director is hosting. I believe it's next week. I don't have the dates in front of me, but Yeah, we're hiring 2 positions at the transfer station. We are hiring a tax collector. We are hiring summer seasonals for rec, and I think that might be it.
So all these, they all went through internals? You didn't have anyone that applied internally?
No
so
one's
now
applied
they're-
internally.
Now they're outside.
So yeah, the posting's still up. And then we're hiring a full-time patrol officer as well. What's that?
Wasn't there a grounds or maintenance director or something with the Parks and Rec listed?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Phil gave his notice. His last day is the 7th, and we'll be hiring for that position and advertising for that one soon too. So we have a lot of openings. Come work for the town of Lisbon.
Thank you.
I sent the application to someone that works at a bank that's interested in learning more about the tax collecting, so
Oh, nice.
see how it works.
Glenn, who was it gave the notice?
Phil in Parks.
Tierney.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Next item?
Next item is appointments. We have none. So we'll move to Councilor Communications.
Any councilors have any communication?
All I want to say is it's nice to be back in person.
Little, is you adapting to how hot it is in Maine right now? Or
After being here 8 hours, no, not yet.
Ready for some ice and snow tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's our welcome.
Bring it on for one day, then it's summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran into a few people that just got back from Florida and they got their winter jackets on.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I might, I am really excited about the intern.
Yeah.
The award, the grant for the intern. Do we have a plan, Lisa, or Glenn, on what you might be doing with the intern?
Yeah, so Ross outlined a lot of project-based stuff with his office. I have some projects lined up for our internal AP system that we have to do some boring stuff, data integrity for our database. And I plan to, expose them to the fun stuff. Like I'll bring them to the management conference in August in Sugarloaf, and kind of expose them to kind of interact with our business owners and kind of expose them to public administration and see if it's a career path that they, want to go down. Because, I was in those positions too, 10 years ago, and it's no fun being locked in a dreary county office where, you're just looking at spreadsheets all day. So we'll get them out and interacting with the public and interdepartmental things. So, yeah.
Good, good. Thank you.
It's good news.
Was the intern local, or were they able
I believe Hallowell. Yeah. We initially had one from Lewiston, but with the transition in the finance department, their focus was accounting, so I didn't think it would be an ideal time for someone to come in and...
roll the load, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the person will be able to commute, so it's not too
Yep.
back and forth. Good.
Yep. Yeah, MMA vets that all prior for us, so we just kind of set up the meet and greet, which I believe Melanie has scheduled coming up, and then they'll start on May 1st. Yep.
All right. Ready for the
Next
next item? Okay. Audience participation and response for new items. At this time, those in the audience who wish to speak may approach the lectern to address items or issues that are not on the agenda. Please speak clearly into the microphone and state your name for the record.
Anyone in the audience like to come up? I see none. We'll close that.
Next item is normally executive session. We have none this evening. Order 2023-57 is to adjourn.
So moved.
Second that.
All right. Roll call vote. Councillor Kane.
Yes.
Councillor Fellows.
Yes.
Councillor LaRochelle.
Yes.
Councillor Lunt.
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Aye.
Councillor Robichaud.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays. Order passed. Vote 6-0.
So then, Chair, we get done early
Yeah,
tonight.
see that? See that, Harry? 20 of 8.
Barely kept Lisa alive.
Good job, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.